wheelhouse.
Okay, boys, set the terror level at code brown, because I need to change my pants.
Silence! Your voice is grating on my ear nubs.
If you don't have a membership, here's what you missed out on the wheelhouse.
MMA fighter Frank Trigg.
Hey guys, what's going on?
This weekend, UFC 126. The headline match, I suppose, is the Anderson Silva-Victor Belfort fight. It's finally this fight taking place after a couple of delays, injuries on both sides.
Is that actually happening? Is that this weekend?
That's
really?
what they tell me. That's what it says on the website, anyway.
Yeah, it's been. Remember, I trained with Vitor.
Okay.
Not for this camp. I trained him a little bit in the very beginning of his camp with his wrestling, but then obviously I'm not. I'm not 6'2". Like Anderson Silva, I'm only 5'10", so obviously the length doesn't work out the same way.
Sure.
I don't have a 73-inch reach like Anderson Silva does, so it's like I'm a little bit different body type. So when he got in the nit and gritty and the heaviness of the weight class, of the actual training camp, I had to back out of it. That's just kind of how it worked. But Vitor trains with us Extreme Couture, so I see him all the time. I'm a big Anderson Silva fan because I love the way he moves and he shakes and he shimmies, and he's also one of the first guys I said I honestly believe, dude, this guy's got to retire. He got scissor kicked and heel locked by Rio Chonin over in Pride. Before he came to the UFC, I'm like, this guy's a dummy. I don't know why he's fighting. He's such a good athlete. He's smart. He's very, very nice. Even though he doesn't speak very good English, he's a very, very nice guy. I think he should go ahead and start coaching and trying to save his body. Then flash forward 5 years, and now he's pound for pound the best fighter in the world. So you really got to go. I respect him so much because he went from the dark days of getting his ass kicked to all of a sudden kicking everybody's ass. And guys getting his ass kicked by guys that really shouldn't be in the same ring with him or be in the same cage with him, to him destroying everybody that he faces. Everybody that he faces, he's destroying. It's amazing to watch him fight like that. So I'm very excited about this fight. Very excited about this fight that, to come happen. And I think that Vitor is one of the few guys that stylistically matches up very well with Belfort. Now, before the Chael Sonnen fight, I didn't think Chael matched up very well with Vitor, but we all saw how that fight went. And really, if it had ended 2 minutes into the fifth round, Chael kills him. But because it went the way it did, he ends up getting tapped out, and with the triangle choke, has to finish and finishes as a loss. But I think Vitor has a great striking ability, has a great wrestling ability, and both these guys have great submission games. I think Vitor is just a little bit more explosive and stronger in his position, where Anderson's a lot faster and crazy about how he throws. He throws very unorthodox punches and very unorthodox kicks when you're in front of him. So it's going to be a very, very close, dynamic fight. But I think Vitor has a really good shot at winning this fight.
Now, ironically enough, it was the injury to Vitor that opened up the door for Damian Maia and brought us that debacle with Anderson Silva. Do you think he's been able to rebound somewhat in the public eye? Or is this fight important from that standpoint as well?
That's the thing I don't like. I mean, people even give George St. Pierre like this big headache. The reality of it is that when you get that good and things are working for you and the lights are working for you, why are you going to fix something that's not broken? And for you to sit there and tell me that GSP's not finishing fights and Anderson Silva's not fighting up to his potential and he's running around up to Damian Maia and it just looks silly, whatever. Well, you have to remember too that they're going to take a risk, which is going to cost them the match. So if you're trying to play like Damian did, Damian just slid on his butt and ran around and jumped guard and try to put Anderson into a position where he's going to jump in there, attack him, and get and possibly catch a submission. Now we all saw what happened with Badoom and Fedor. Fedor knocks down Badoom and then jumps after him, gets away, knocks him down again, jumps into him and gets submitted. And the reason is because he attacked him. If Anderson Silva had done the same thing with Damian Maia, Damian probably would have won. He would have caught him in a submission because he would have got over aggressive. That's the whole point of jiu-jitsu. Anderson Silva, from a tactical standpoint, was very, very smart. From a fan standpoint, watching the fight, no, it was boring as hell. It wasn't the Anderson Silva you wanted to see, but it was smart. So with him fighting Vitor Belfort, I think you can see him fight a little bit differently even with this fight because he has to be very smart on how he fights. He has to be very smart in what he does because he doesn't want to get caught by a big haymaker because Vitor does have that one-punch knockout power. He does have that quick submission game on him that Silva doesn't have submission-wise, that jumping submission game where he just, slap it on you. He's more of a grinder when it comes to submission game, even though he didn't show it against Chael Sonnen, would just slap that one thing on. But, It's going to be interesting to see how this thing pans out. It really is a very, very close fight.
I like it. You're absolutely right. It's 8:25 p.m. Eastern time, and all you do is you like the UFC fanbook page, Facebook page, and all you got to do is
go to the Frank Trigg fanbook page and like that too, and I'll just smile happily and say thanks.
Celebrity Super Bowl parties in Dallas.
Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Michael Vick is hosting a Super Bowl party in Texas this week. And just to make sure nothing goes wrong, the club is calling in the SWAT team. So, indeed, they are concerned, obviously. First of all, if you're that club, really? Like, do you want... There had to be a point where you had to weigh that out, right? Like, should we have Michael Vick here with this party and the possibility of violence and hire a SWAT team or not?
Yeah,
You could legitimately say, no, we don't have to do that. No, we're okay. We're doing good.
I think if I'm a club owner, part of me is saying, it's probably 50-50. 50 says, I want him there because it's going to bring name, and people are going to see when it says Michael Vick having a party at whatever club, my name is going to be in every article, or my club is. And then the other part is, I don't want to be the club that has Michael Vick because of his track record. The birthday party where somebody got shot.
There's a point in time where, hey, great for Michael Vick, but you're going to have to hire SWAT because there's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So, according to TMZ, again, who you have to trust because they have all the information.
No doubt.
As you may have heard, the last time Michael Vick hosted a party way back in 2010. Boy, it seems like it was just yesterday.
Jeez Louise, remember that?
Somebody got shot, though Vick claims he had nothing to do with the shooting. He was never charged at the time. But this party is going to be way different because the guy running like as in French, un deux lounge in Dallas, tells TMZ the place will be crawling with top-notch security when the party pops off Friday night at 9 p.m. In fact, Jeff Skaggs, operating owner and GM, tells us there will be multiple security measures in place Friday night, including Michael Vick will bring his own private security team. The NFL is providing security detail.
Whoa. The NFL is?
Uh-huh. The club is bringing in extra members of their own security staff, and guests will be searched and wanded, it sounds dirty, on the way in.
By the TSA.
Yeah, and the best part, Skaggs says he's hired 3 off-duty SWAT team members to patrol the vicinity during the party. With all that protection, Skaggs tells us he's not worried one bit about any trouble.
Do you think his insurance policy, whoever his insurance company is, freaking the F out?
Absolutely.
I mean...
absolutely. And I guarantee you that he may have even upped the ante on how much insurance is going to be covered there, how much liability, all of that stuff.
He's one step away from hiring a small municipality police department to be the security for the entire party.
Or perhaps an army. He might just get a militia from someplace.
They have plenty of bases down there in Texas.
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Now, if you are Michael Vick, who we've joked around here before, but there's some legitimacy to the fact that you had the problem that you had with the dogfighting. You were hauled away from normal society and your NFL career to go to prison for that. You get out of prison, you want to show everybody you're a brand new man, brand spanking new. You've got all of those old mistakes and bad judgments you did in the past. They're all a thing of the past. They're not a part of your life anymore. And that now you're committed to your football team. I mean, here you are in what was a run for the MVP season, if not an MVP season for you. Mm-hmm. And now you're going to have, by the way, and you had a party in 2010 where somebody was shot and you had to be escorted from the building. Your birthday party.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Happy birthday, Mike.
So, would you not think twice about hosting a party? Would you? Here's an idea. Like, maybe you are going to the Super Bowl because you're Michael Vick and you get great seats. How about you just hang out at the hotel room or go to press junkets or maybe even go to other people's parties? But how about you don't host a giant party where you could draw a ton of attention and you realize that some people will try to be armed being there? How about you just take it easy a little bit and protect what little bit of your image you have
brand,
left?
Yeah.
Right. Why would you do that? And by the way, absolutely, by saying you're doing this, there's going to be alcohol involved, which is going to throw things overboard even more. How about you just stay away from it? Can you do that for 5 years? Can you do that for 10 years? How about you just clean yourself up and not do it again?
I mean, multiple questions going through my head right there. Right off the bat is, one, who's his PR rep? And 2, why is the NFL giving him security?
I mean, Good question, because you're in Dallas, maybe? Because you're an NFL player in Dallas, maybe they have to, but it doesn't make any sense to me. And by the way, Goodell should be there. I mean, Tony Dungy should be there. Everybody should be there walking and sitting next to him at all times to make sure he's not going to do something to fuck this up.
I'm guessing it's not like a black tie event where it's going to be some sort of fancy smancy thing. It's going to be, you know, wearing Affliction t-shirts and dancing to the latest Ludacris song. There's a SWAT team coming, for Christ's sake. Michael Vick, you're having a party with a SWAT team. This is a disaster.
It's got disaster written all over it. The only other thing that I think might be, and this is just where it depends on what your point of view is and where the rivalry is, but for Christ's sakes, Ben Roethlisberger, really? You just stepped off of a plane in Dallas. You just got finished telling us how much of a changed person you are. You were just explaining to us how kids should be able to idolize you and look up to you and wear your jerseys. And in reality, you're out drinking like a lush already, and you haven't shown us anything. I mean, the only thing that hasn't come out is a story about who you raped last night.
Which former NFL players deserve the Hall of Fame?
The Football Hall of Fame is going to have their announcement tonight.
That's great. Listen, I am on pins and needles, so do tell.
There are 15 finalists.
Wow,
and you can make a case for 10 of them should have already been in the Hall of Fame now.
Okay.
You can only get 7 in, but in those 7, that's the max.
Right.
2 of them have to be from some kind of like veteran list.
Okay.
They have to be senior candidates.
Okay.
You mean to read off these names?
2 senior candidates.
There's only 2 senior candidates. All the rest of them are fairly, and by that you mean like probably guys who, for the last better part of 5 to 10 years.
I'm going to list them off, probably in order of I think they should have already been in.
Okay.
Chris Carter.
Yes.
Agreed.
Tim Brown.
Yes.
Agreed.
Shannon Sharp is up for the first year.
Okay.
Could you imagine his speech? Ooh. It'll go hours.
Well, I'm telling you, Shannon Sharp is a Hall of Famer. He needs to be in there.
Absolutely.
Should be in there.
Deion Sanders.
I don't like him, but I say yes.
Without a doubt.
Marshall Faulk.
Yes.
Yep.
Jerome Bettis.
Yes.
Richard Dent.
Oh, yes.
Charles Haley.
Yes. And by the way, those have got to be the veteran. Are those the veteran ones?
No, those are regular.
Those are all regular? Holy shit, okay.
Curtis Martin.
Yes.
Who's up for the first time. He and Jerome Bettis. By the way, if you don't think that Curtis Martin is in, he's 4th all time.
Yeah, he's got to be in there.
Rushing yards. 4th.
4th.
Jerome Bettis, 5th.
Yep.
Andre Reed.
I love me some Andre Reed.
Andre Reed of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
He is a Hall of Famer. Now, I'll tell you right now, if Andre Reed gets in before Chris Carter, I'm storming the Bastille.
There's no way that should happen. And Tim Brown, by the way. There's no way that Andre Reed gets in.
Tim Brown is in before Andre Reed as well.
Absolutely.
Willie Rofe.
Okay.
Offensive tackle.
Yep.
Cortez Kennedy.
Okay.
Now we're kind of getting it. Him and Chris Dolman.
Yeah.
Dermontti Dawson. I could probably be like, nah. But the guy from NFL Films, Ed Sable.
Yeah. That's that's
Is
the
that
voice,
host?
right?
The host?
That's like the guy who owns and runs NFL Films.
Oh, then he deserves
The voice was the Phillies broadcaster who passed away. I forget his name right now.
Ed Sable was the older, I think his son Steve Sable runs it now. But
the voice guy, his name was Mr. Balls.
Okay.
That was
I believe it was Harry Callis.
Yes.
There it is right there. Yeah.
I believe his middle name was Balls.
Yes. Harry Balls Callis.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
You sure was
so? I mean, who are the 5 that you're picking out of the list of those guys I just gave you?
Wow,
Ed Sable.
There's the Cortez Kennedy. I mean,
I'm sorry, you got to wait another year. Chris Dolman, Cortez Kennedy.
Yeah, I could put those last few on hold.
Exactly.
I think you could end it. You could end it Reed, and I would feel pretty comfortable putting everybody from Chris Carter to Reed.
I don't think Reed gets in this year. I think they're going to throw in a guy, and they're like Sable. They always do that.
I think it's got to be Chris Carter. It's got to be
Tim Brown,
Shannon Sharp.
Marshall
Can you put in Curtis Martin and not Jerome Bettis? Do they both have to wait another year?
I would put in because I would put in Marshall Faulk.
I'd put in Faulk because he was like a 2-time MVP, right?
Right, and then
You're going to put in Faulk before Bettis and Martin, who were
4th and 5th
than him on the rushing league.
Yeah.
I'd put in all 3. I'd put those 3 receivers and those 3 backs in and call it a day.
That's tough.
Shannon Sharp right now is or I guess he's right behind Tony Gonzalez now, but Tony Gonzalez still playing. So for a time, Shannon Sharp, the best tight end who ever played.
Right. And I think Dion's a first ballot.
Fuck that.
You just don't like it because he took your dance.
No, what?
Willie Rofe was a Pro Bowl selection, 11 in his 13 years.
What was Deion Sanders' horrible television show? His reality show?
Something with his wife, right?
It was his whole family.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Primetime Company. I don't know.
It was boy. I don't remember what it was.
I did.
It
was like him and his wife, and
yeah.
I don't know. He was cursing a lot. Wasn't she on Football Wives?
Was she on Football Wives?
I think she was actually. Why do I know that?
I don't.
They
know.
did a Football Wives.
That's
Come
the
on,
bigger
Colin,
question.
you're supposed to be the VH1 fan with me.
Yeah, I you know what? Deion can wait. Let me listen. Somebody's got to make this decision. So here's what happens. Deion can wait, and I mean a long time. I can wait another 3 years before Deion Sanders gets in there. No problem.
You can make the argument that Deion Sanders is one of the best cornerbacks to ever play the game.
You absolutely could, but you got to looking at the other guys. Deion Sanders can wait.
Who's a better cornerback than him?
Oh wow!
Ever?
Yeah.
Who's the guy from the Redskins? Darryl Green?
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Is
Champ Bailey better than Deion Sanders?
They're in the
same
company.
Yeah, they're in the same kind of category.
Charles Woodson.
I love me some Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson is in the argument.
It's not tough. You could totally hold off on Marshall Faulk or Jerome Bettis till next year.
I think Carter and Sharp and Sanders are locks.
Yeah, but you could exactly so they can go in next year. So you can put Bettis, you can put Faulk, you can put Neon Deion in all next year, and it's not a problemo.
The fact that Carter isn't in there now,
I agree. See, the two that you can't waver on for sure is Tim Brown and Chris Carter. You cannot waver on them. They have to go in this year.
Hey, that sounded good, but where do I get more of that? Good question. WheelhouseRadio.com. For less than 3 cents a day. Nah, fuck it. Check out for yourself. WheelhouseRadio.com.